You ask me, what is the greatest thing? And I say to you, it is man, it is man, it is man. And that's in that Huchatarito. And that's what all the song was in the old days, but our Tipuna, our ancestor, his name was Toiroa, and he was the prophet that predicted the Mormons and everything, and he was in the year 17, he was in the 1700s, or no, before that, 1600s, and he predicted these happenings. His name was Toiroa, which means dwell forever. And this song, Hucha Terito, he thought, no, it doesn't say enough about a person's life. That's what it means. It's about a person's life. Hucha Terito means pull back the fronds of the flax. And in the middle used to be one little one that used to come up like this, and it used to twist sideways. So when you open up, it's like a little coil. And on that coil used to perch the bellbird and the mockingbird, the kukupa. And he used to sit there and he used to drink out of the middle. You know, and that's what you do in life. You drink, just nod your head, and they say, e ko ko ana, you grab life, bits at a time. And it says, it asks you, where is that perch? Because in latter life, with the youth, they're changing times. And they're not as strictly thing like we were. Like in our old days. You want to play that hoot? Oh, you play that hoot, yeah?
Do we need to play it?
Yeah, play it.
Oh, it gives a...
Go on.
Nice when it's sunny. That hoot, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you going to do it?
Oh, you want to play it?
Nah.
Oh. But can you sing to my aid? My Hawaiian aid?
I can only sing when we...
With a biscuit in your mouth. Alright. He tangata aue huja ite rito o te hara keke kai te taurana mo te ko e ko ki mai koe ki he ara te mea nui maku e ki atu he tangata aue te kukupa erere i te po ki te ao marama he hohau i te rongo mo ake tonu mo ake tonu
Oh, it's awesome.
And I'm talking about on the phone.
Hiru atori whāngai. On the whāngai. Yep. Yeah. On the whāngai hiru. Where I left my heart one day. In a sleeping willow bay. Where the folks are young and gay. They call it Maria. It's a place that I survive, and I don't care what they call it. But to me, it's paradise. Oki oki tonu ahau, ina rio te Maria. Kita kimi parke na manu, motaku chenu ka shine boy. Using the Chattanooga shoe shine boy because they were split and polished. Doesn't mean really polished their boots. Maori, this is exactly the same. Tirama mai toa tāhua, kia rite ki te pounamu. A pounamu is an important thing, like greenstone or earring or pendants. They're called taonga, or pounamu is an important thing. It's an important thing to Maori. It was a precious thing. They were good using it as a patu, or patu a donga, a head donga, or mere, you know, those sort of things. That was their weapon, made out of greenstone, hone sharp. So that's this tirama mai toa tāhua. Kia rite tonu, hey, oh, I'm blind. He wahine o whiti. Aye, that's no.
No? Yeah, well, that's mine there, right?
He wahine o whiti, ko koe ko rongo mai wahine. Wahine o whiti is a special woman. A special woman put in a special place, on a pedestal. He wahine o whiti, put up there on a pedestal. And that was her, rongo mai wahine. Yeah. Yeah, she lived in Mahia. Yep. You lived in Mahia, you precious gem. Yeah. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, mina mai means the gossip got to him. Yeah, the gossip got to Kahungunu. Kahungunu was a chief that descended from a particular waka in Hawaii, and he was of royal blood, Kahungunu. In his genealogy, he was born in Aotearoa. After his father had left, first they went from Hawaii to Rarotonga, and then they arrived up in the northern part of Bay of Plenty. And that's where his father lived. His grandfather was what they called a changeling, or it's all atua makua. You know, they were gods to men.
Mythological.
You know, that book Iharaira doesn't say that. Iharaira proves it that they weren't. They talk about Maori in Iharaira, in that Israel, book of Israel. Yes, so it's a very interesting book to read. And it says like they say Maori mythology is given down in genealogy, in whakapapa. And who were the greatest recorders of genealogy? Mormons. Mormons. They were the greatest for recording genealogy. And it's proved in this book of Iharaira. And it's all Mormons wrote it. You know, so, yeah, we don't know what to read. Like you say, mythology. But however, there was, when Rongo Kako was born, he had the ability to do that. And he and a friend and a cousin, his name was Pawa, P-A-W-A, were down in Wellington area, and they heard about this woman up north Auckland, and her name was Murifenua. And so they're going to have a race up there from Wellington to North Auckland. So he decides to run, and Pawa decides to row. So he stepped. Now, if you in Waiata and you go to the seashore, there's a footprint 18 inches long, and it's embedded in a rock. We've also got one over here, below the school at Mahia. There's one embedded in the rock, a footprint. You know, there was a left foot down there, right foot landed here. And they call it Tapuai o Rongo Kako. That's a massive step. And the next one is at Whangara, way up the coast. And that's 18 inches. Yeah, so it was left one landed up there. And Pawa, being on the waka, had no obstructions. And he got around there to Hikurangi and he put a snare there and tripped them up. You know, so he tripped up on Hikurangi, on the mountain up there at Waiata, up the coast. Fell into the sea as a fish. And he swam all the way up north, Nongo Kako, and he beat Pawa on the waka, and he married that Muri Whenua. What a story. Hey, I'm sticking to it, and I'm not what a way to go. But however, so Nongo Kako married Muri Whenua, and she had a son called Tamatea Pōkai Whenua, Pōkai Moana. Pōkai Whenua means he wandered all over the lands of Aotearoa and in the world. And Pōkai Moana means he sailed the seas everywhere. So here was this Tamatea Pōkai Moana, Pōkai Whenua. There's a Maori name down in Porangahau. It's the longest Maori name in New Zealand because Taumata whakatangihanga ko au a Tamatea Pōkai Whenua ki tana tahu.
No.
What a long name, man, that was his name. Wow. It's the longest name, I think it's in the Guinness Book of Records.
It's down in Carpathians, right?
Yeah, at Porangahau, there's a place called Porangahau. And that's what it is. And it was for him. And it was about him. He sat on the bus, it says, Taumata whakatangihanga ko au a Tamatea. A ko au is a flute. Or nose flute. They used to blow it through their nose. And so that means the brow of the hill where Tamatea Pōkai Whenua, who sailed all around the land and all around the seas, sat and played his nose flute to his lady love. That's what that long Maori name means. Taumata Whakatangihanga. Years ago they used to have the Chinese doing it on Japanese. Tourists. You know, and this Maori fellow was teaching him and they were going, Taumata, you know, like that. But it was the longest Maori name in New Zealand. Taumata Whakatangihanga ko au a Tamatea Pōkai Whenua ki mana.
That's so awesome.
What a mouthful. But yes, so he married three. There was already a people here, Maori. And they came here with a man called Toi Kairaka. And Toi Te Huatahi, he was the first circumcised in Hawaii. Toi Te Huatahi. And he was watching in the lagoon there in Hawaii, and he's watching his Mugapuna grandson. His name was Whatonga. And he was watching him winning the races. And all of a sudden, Whatonga got blown out to sea and disappeared. Little did Toi know, Whatonga hit an island just out of Hawaii, one of the other islands, but he'd lost him, and he wasn't back after 2 years, so Toi left it. And he brought his people to Aotearoa down the Kupe's freight line, along the coast of America, and back down to here. And Toi was here, and he married a woman from here. His name was Toi Te Huatahi, the first circumcised. But when people visited him, what he fed them was fern roots, tubers. So they call it tastes like wood. You know, that's hence the going back of Kuwa to get kumara, because kumara was better than eating fern roots. So they called, he was eating wood. So they called him Toi Kai Rako. The rako is the wood, and eating it is kai, and Toi was his name. So Toi Kai Rako became that. That was his name. Yes, and he lived in Whakatane. And he married a woman near Kurai Manoa, and they had, his daughter was Tokero Wahine, and married a man, Irakai Pūtahi, and had triplets. One was Te Ono no Iwaho, or means Te Ono Ono Iwaho.
Kids play kia ora.
As they dash past the TV. Preaching dough or something like that. But her name was Te Ono no Iwaho, and she had one son. His name was Whaene. The next, he married the second sister. Her name was Iwi Pupu Te Kura, and had a man called Kahumunu. His name was Kahu, however. His name was Kahu. And the third one, he married, this Tamatea, this Taumata, whatever. The third lady he married was Te Moana I Kauia, and had Haumanga and Rangi Nui, which were Whakatohea. Hey. The one Iwi Pupu Te Kura was Kahumunu. Kahuna was the chief that it's in that song of Kotio Maori. So Kahungunu, on his first thing he did was go up to Ngāpuhi, right up north, to find out why his father, Pōkai Whenua, got kicked out of Ngāpuhi. You know, he probably distressed them with their long name anyway. However, yeah, so he went up there and then he was coming back and he met with his brother Whaene, and then was all the way down. Now, his name was Kahu, but on the way down, the first woman he married was a woman in up north called Hine Tapu in Kaitaia. And they gave him the name Kahu Ngungu. And the process of Ngungu was marrying a woman for land, because he had no mana whenua. He had no mana on the land. He had no ihi, wehi, and, you know, born to the land. He had nothing. So he would Ngungu, or marry these women all the way down the country. So his name became Kahu Ngungu. He got to here, and eventually, though, you got people with short tongues. You know, like down South Island, you know, they use a K instead of NG. Hey, I couldn't understand that. You go to a tangi, you don't go to a taki. Hey, I couldn't get over that. But however, yeah, Kahungunu, what people change it and all of a sudden it's Kahununu. They're dropping the G's. So that was his name. However, he was born of royal blood in Hawaii. In Hawaii. He was of the Tamatea clan in Hawaii. And they were the big wigs, the big tohungas. And the Takitimu waka that his grandfather came on, or was the chief on, Tamatea Pōkai Ariki Nui, was called Takitimu. And Takitimu, if you go to Rarotonga and around the Cook Islands, that's where all the waka ended. They say 100 waka ended from Hawaii to Rarotonga. Then the 7 seemed to come this way. But you know, that's who we're combined with. That's that Kahungunu man. But it was him that had to come chasing our woman.
And the
Our
Waiata,
precious lady,
and the
Lord.
Waiata,
Yeah.
that Hirama.
Waiata?
Which, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hiramama.
Hiramama. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to put your glasses on.
Sure. They're not very strong.
Te tonu ki te paunangu e wahine o whiti ko koe koronga ine e noho mai koe e hine ki te mahi ae tupato ra e hine ko koe koronga mai wahine minna mai ra ina mai te tone o kahunu e mate anga koe mai awa au e taukuri korongo mai e ti hei wini ti hei wana ti hei ore ana e nā te pāu araru ana o koe korongo mai wahine
I think some of the words are wrong on that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there's some missing or something.
We can get up and say what we like. We can say it in any language. I said to Samoan the other day at one of the funerals. But you can get up and say, but the woman can't. The woman's job is to karanga. It's not their job, but it's what happens. They karanga to the people. So they're the first voice out there. And they welcome people in. Then our kawa is this. You welcome people in. You talk to them. You let them reply. Because they've got need as well. You let them reply. You feed them and you bed them down. Everybody, all your visitors, they say, aha kua ko wai, no matter who it is. Aha kua ko wai. So that's our custom. You mihi, pōwhiri, they stand at the gate, or the tomo, and they're welcomed in karanga by the ladies. Because Grace often comes down to karanga for me. And she karangas them up to there, to the front of the meeting house. Then they sit to the side on the seats provided. And I stand up and I'll do all the thing, the ritual, go through the ritual of farewelling the dead and you know, and theirs as well, crying for theirs as well. So you say, oh, it's all together and they're all combined. And that's it, because you've got to be careful with Maori. No matter who it is, our father said to me, you stop at every Maori tangi you see. Any marae, you stop there. And he said, aha kua ko wai, no matter who it is. Because they might be your relation. Because all Maoris are relatives, see? Or related. Aye. But that's what happens. So, at our marae, we've got 2 block walls. And between those block walls and the end of the meeting house, the woman is allowed to sit on the front and talk. To stand on the front and speak on the marae. And that's the only occasion. Otherwise, it's only in the meeting house, inside. Yes. So, kia ora.
Kia ora.
Thank you so much.
Ah, Maui mua, Maui roto, Maui taha, Maui tai, Maui pai, Maui tiki tiki ataranga, papatirau mai wa ti waka waka, tara nui, tara roa, rangi nui, rangi roa, ngai whare kiki, ngai whare kaka, ngai roki, ngai reka, ngai peha, ngai take take, ngai te huru manu, and toi kai raka. And that's what he did for me, connecting everything, for all my genealogy right down to us. And I was chosen for that by my mum's people and that patriarch.
And you have a good memory.
That's why, eh? Yeah.
When we go to funerals to other tribes, our whakapapa is Indian, and some of us married some of theirs. And that's what they taught me. It was Paurafanga, Cambridge Pani,
Oh, yeah.
General Meihana. They're my mum's first cousins.
Oh.
Yeah. And they taught me all of that. When we were all baptized as Mormons, and our marae was a multi-denominational. So we had everyone there. We had Ringatu, which is the upraised hand, through a man called Te Kochi.
Yeah.
Hey, Te Kochi Rikirangi. And his name